Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lisa and I usually talk about my life on Brisbane on this channel and also my travels. I hope you enjoyed those clips of my time at Changi Airport Terminal 2 as well as on Malaysia Airlines from Singapore to Kuching, Malaysia. I also spent some time at the SATS airport lounge. Overall, the experience was quite good. I used the early check-in facility at Jewel after I checked out of the hotel. And this feature is available for passengers of certain airlines, Malaysia Airlines luckily being one of them. And it allowed us the option of dropping off our luggage up to 3 hours prior to the flight. So I guess this service is available for people who would like to spend more time at the Jewel and not worry about having to bring luggage over with them to their terminal. So I was one of those people and I dropped off my luggage, then I went to Terminal 2. I walked, so it wasn't too bad, but I was glad that I had used the early check-in option so that I didn't have to drag my luggage, because it was still quite a walk. It wasn't like it was just next door. And then once in the terminal, it was then also a little bit of a walk to where their baggage drop-off area is. So getting to the terminal was no problem. I got through immigration and then I was in Terminal 2 proper and I had a look around. I was keen to do some perfume shopping in duty free, so I did that. I made a purchase. Then I thought, well, I've got some time and I'm keen to check out one of their airport lounges. I just don't know which one I would have access to because I was flying economy on Malaysia Airlines. I didn't have access to an airline lounge, and I have the Key Lounge app on my phone, so I was looking at options there, and then I ended up at, it turned out to be a bank's private access lounge, and I thought maybe I could pay for access there. But when I was standing in line, I looked it up and it's only for certain clients of a bank in Singapore. So I then turned around and there was another lounge called the SATS lounge, SATS. I asked the reception, how can I have access to this lounge? Can I pay for entry? And then she brought out this laminated piece of paper which had logos of the cards I think that were accepted in this lounge, and I think she also mentioned Key Lounge, and I said, well, I've got Key Lounge, and she said, oh yep. So there was no problem from that point. She just charged my credit card and I was able to get access. So I went into the lounge. The lounge is quite nice. There were not too many people at the time that I arrived. There were some food options, so I was able to grab a table quite close to the food and beverages, so I didn't have too far to walk. And I sat there, had a bit of food, some drink. It was pretty good. I remember there was a noodle dish that I particularly like, so I had seconds of that dish. So there was a mix of local and Western food available. It wasn't too extensive of a buffet that I recall, so it was okay in terms of the variety of the food that was available. And not long after I had sat down and settled down to my meal, quite a rowdy party arrived. There were maybe 6 or 8 of them, and they sat at the high table next to the row of tables I had sat at, and it was just too loud. I'm not begrudging them their holiday fun, but I thought it was a little inconsiderate given that there are other people around them in not a huge space. After all, I then moved to where the armchairs were, so this was a quieter area away from the food and that particular noisy group, and it was fine. I enjoyed myself relaxed there, and then I made my way out of the lounge to head to the gate. There were no announcements at Changi Airport, so you have to be mindful of the time. And in that particular lounge, the SATS lounge, there was the display of the flight status. I could see the gate number and that it was open. So I made my way there, but I took a bit of a detour because as I was leaving the lounge, I looked down and I saw that there was this beautiful pond with fish, and I thought, well, I'll go down and take a closer look. And it also was an orchid display, and they were stunning. Such a beautiful collection of orchids, beautiful colors, and the fish were pretty too. They were like a little bit of orange colored, a bit silvery colored fish. So that was quite fun to watch them swim around, and I could see there were coins there, I guess, from other passengers who maybe believed that if you threw a coin in the water, it would maybe bring good luck, or they would return to Changi, I guess. I'm not sure. Just speculating. And then from there I went to the gate, and it actually felt a bit dated, the gate that we had for this flight. It could be that Changi Airport hasn't been, or Terminal 2 of Changi Airport hasn't been refurbished in a while. And in Changi, the security checks occur at the gate, so I think it's a good idea to pad your time a little bit, because sometimes, depending on how full the flight is, there can be quite a bit of a queue to get through security at the gate into the waiting area. But this flight didn't seem that full, so it was pretty quick going through security. I basically just walked straight in and got on the flight. This was MH642 from Singapore to Kuching, about an hour and a half flight time. And the plane felt pretty new. I was at a window seat. I love my window seat, and there was no one in the middle seat. I flew economy this time, and there were 3 seats in a row, an aisle, and then 3 other seats, so 6 seats all up in each row. And flight was pretty smooth, weather was pretty clear, and surprisingly they actually had some food to give us. I was a little surprised at that, because around this time there was news that Malaysia Airlines had some sort of disagreement with their longtime caterer, and therefore their long-standing agreement or contract with this caterer had ended, and there were some supply issues of food and beverages to the flights. So I had pretty low expectations, but yeah, there was a little tray of food. I think there was croissant, maybe a chicken croissant, and a little bit of cake. So it's pretty good for a flight that was for 90 minutes. And landed in Kuching with no drama. So overall, that was a pretty good trip. Smooth check-in, had a nice time in the airport lounge, the paid airport lounge. And Terminal 2, if you like shopping, there are some shops there. I'm a big fan of TWG, but I didn't pick up anything from their store in Terminal 2 this time. I did pick up Perfume, and the Malaysia Airlines flight from Kuching to Singapore was excellent. In terms of the flight being not so full, I'm guessing that there isn't a huge demand for Singapore to Kuching during that time. I do believe Malaysia Airlines has just the one flight. It's a daily flight, and I happened to fly out on a weekday. I really did enjoy the convenience of having stayed at the Jewel, and it made it really easy to get to the terminal for the flight. And and especially the early check-in service that they offered, that was super convenient as well. If you made it this far, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!